This may not be the figure most collectors were asking for, but this is the very release that represents the pinnacle of any action figure line and what most hope to achieve at some point during their run. Other than Kamen Rider and Ultraman, there really isn't any other series that's come this far with SH Figuarts. We're way past the Gokus and Vegetas now. We've gone through the B-listers, C-listers, and whilst I don't mean this in a negative way, we're now officially in the D-lister territory. That's right, Dragon Ball Z Cui. Who would have thought that one day we'd get this guy in the SHFiguarts Dragon Ball line? All of those Goku retools, reissues have paid its way to this. And I, for one, are eternally grateful that all those sales, all that money went to funding this guy. A character that nobody really asked for, I guess, but I certainly did. Long-winded, sarcastic intros aside, if you love Dragon Ball Z, you're gonna love this. And I couldn't be more excited to finally get Cui in hand. Let's take a closer look. Alright, so let's take a closer look at this purple bad boy. There really isn't too many surprises here. It's your good old 2.0 Frieza Army Saiyan armor setup. Single hinges for the shoulder pads, single hinges for the waist pads, shiny finish on the chest armor, and a satin finish for the rest of the figure. No shading. We do get all of his little dots sculpted all over his body. I'm not sure what alien race Cui comes from, but his design always reminded me of some kind of amphibian-like salamander or something. Also, I guess I never really noticed this, but Cui has green boots as opposed to his greyish white gloves. Some midweek laundry mismatch going on there? Maybe. And not much in terms of paintwork, it's pretty much the yellows you see on the shoulder pads and waist pads, as well as the bands he has wrapped around his gloves and boots. But if nothing else, this figure can sell itself on the incredibly faithful head sculpts alone. Yeah, I know the term gets tossed around a lot, but the expressions they gave Cui are literally the embodiment of the phrase jumped right out of the screen. I mean, you can see it right here. They just took those faces right out of the manga panels, shoved it through Tamashi's magic toy making machine, and out popped the perfect head sculpts. And we get 5 options. 5, that's Future Trunks numbers right there, pretty good. Cui comes with a scouter option for 2 of those head sculpts as well, his cocky smile, and his surprised face when he finds out Vegeta's been secretly hiding his power level. We also get an overly confident open mouth expression, also doubling up as an angry shout for his barrage of energy beam attacks, as well as your celebrating way too soon happy face. But the award for the best head sculpt in the entire Dragon Ball line to date is this little beauty right here, Cui's death face, as he gets blown to smithereens by Vegeta. You get the bloodshot eyes bulging out like Glenn from The Walking Dead, his face is all mangled, it's gruesome, and I love it. And to accompany said death face, we have a little bonus thrown in there with the expression Vegeta has when he totally obliterates Cui. Throw in the 2-finger attack hand and you have a perfect recreation of one of Vegeta's most brutal moments. Nice. Alright, so let's take a look at Cui's articulation, starting with the head. Head looks up, looks down really well. We have some left and right head tilt and side to side rotation. All of that assisted by a very good independent neck joint. The whiskers here do rotate up and down. So I mean, when Cui is, I guess, a little bit excited, you can have them facing up or facing down. Just do be careful because they are thin and small. So yeah. Shoulder pads are your traditional hinges, just moving up and down. They don't move back like the latest 24,000 Vegeta. I think it would have been ideal going forward with, I guess, any Saiyan armor or Frieza army designed figures, but alas, they only move up and down. We get some really great range with the arms. Yay for Cui. And some really good range there with his butterfly joints as well. Like, I mean, he can cross his arms over, and that's saying a lot because not a lot of figures in this line can do that, so pretty good. I like that. So you do get 360 rotation, but again, I mean, just look at the shoulder pads. They're just going to be floating up in the air, hitting the sides of his head. That's not a good thing. We do have bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, hinge at the wrist, and of course, a swivel. So Cui has some really, really great ab crunch going forward. I mean, you get this huge gap at the back, but yeah, definitely a worthwhile sacrifice in my opinion, for this kind of figure. I mean, I wish all figures in the Dragon Ball line had this amount of ab crunch going forward. Unfortunately they don't, but would have been nice. You do get a little bit of side to side twist there at the upper torso, but most of your twist is going to come from the actual waist itself. Again, the waist pads, they do hinge up and down. Cui does have a decent spread. It's not a perfect 180, but he does get pretty good range, and he kicks backward and forward really well, almost 180 degrees. So good range there at the hips. Upper thigh swivel, thigh cut, double knees, rotation there at the ankle. The feet don't get the most range going down, and this, yeah, not too bad going up. It's pretty good going up. I mean, it's a traditional, you know, Saiyan armor, Frieza army boot articulation, dumbbell joint going into the ankle and into the foot, so it's not going to be the greatest, and you know, as expected, not the greatest ankle articulation either. And of course we have a toe hinge. So I mean, you know, old stuff with Cui, but I mean, it still works. You still get some really, really good articulation in the torso. That's new. Some great head articulation and neck articulation, which helps, you know, with all of your subtle poses. But yeah, all in all, pretty good stuff. I think above average. For accessories, I think Tamashii gave us pretty much everything you could give Cui. I mean, he wasn't exactly a long-standing character, so other than those awesome head sculpts, we get your basic hand options. 2 fists for duking it out with Vegeta, a couple of open palm blast hands for your classic Dragon Ball Z Ki blast barrage attacks, and a pair of curled blast hands, also hands for catching fists and energy ball attacks. I think a lot of collectors slept on this one, which is kind of a shame. You can kind of tell with the lack of posts that you don't see, I guess, on Instagram when this figure came out. The figure is by no means groundbreaking in terms of engineering, but it doesn't need to be either. It uses all the good stuff we've all come to know and love from the older 2.0 bodies. Again, overgeneralization there, but you guys know what I mean. But even with an older body and those out-of-date ankle joints, which I absolutely hate, this is still a really fun figure to pair with your Vegeta 24,000. Even if you have no connection with the character itself, it's still a goofy old school Dragon Ball Z design right out of the pages of Toriyama Sensei himself. A bit pricey and exclusive as a troop builder, but nevertheless a great looking and unique figure to have together with your Frieza army. We still have another Vegeta to go, the one without the shoulder pads, possibly an ugly boy Zarbon, possibly a Nail, but I feel we've already kind of come full circle with the Namek Saga wave. And what a wave it's been. I mean, having all of these figures from the same story arc is just a dream come true. And a bit of a hassle too. I've got all of the boxes and clamshells scattered all over the floor in my room right now. But hey, for this group shot, to have Cui join the ranks, this is what it's all about. So go out and get yourself a Cui or two, and that's it from me. I hope you guys enjoyed the review. Likes and comments are always appreciated, and it would really help out the channel if you hit that subscribe button as well. I'll be back with Figuarts, Obi-Wan, Ahsoka, and till then, have a good one guys. And as always,
Yoroshiku!